Sorry, the little light that I use for making sure that you can see all of this is crooked and it's bugging the shit. I mean, it's not causing a problem on the... I mean, it's lighting properly, but it's annoying. Anyway. Okay, subject of this video. Unfortunately, Mick Mulvaney. This fucking douchebag. There we go. Asshole. Okay, I really hate this guy. And it's one of those things, you know, I'm doing it for the people, for the viewers, for you, for the world, whatever. Because honestly, this is one of those... This is a little off topic, but there are people in this world that through whatever reason, through the way they act, the things they do, you know, the term, I think it's, you know, kind of, you remember like sort of the insult or the term or the exclamation, "I hate your face"? This guy right here, like, I would consider that a very punchable face. You know, it's just like the sight of them, people like that. It's just like the sight of them pisses me off. But like, I gotta kind of like just grit my teeth and listen to them speak their bullshit so that I can relay it to you, along with some of my colorful fucking commentary. So, let's get into it before I puke. Okay, now, after promising multiple times on the campaign trail that Don the Cheeto Trump would not cut Social Security or Medicare, his Office of Management and Budget Director, OMB, this one, revealed that they might do that. They might cut it. They might, honestly. And I got a clip. He went on Face the Nation to say this, so let's watch the clip real quick.
Entitlements, that's where the big money is. The president said he didn't want to touch Medicare, but he seems to be revising his thinking on that.
Well, I think the promise was he wasn't going to affect anybody, and we haven't with this budget. Keep in mind what this budget is. Sure. This is just the discretionary spending part of the budget, which was a necessary first step.
But he might look at future Medicare recipients.
Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that Social Security disability insurance is part of what people think of when they think of Social Security? I don't think so. It's the fastest growing program. It grew tremendously under President Obama. It's a very wasteful program, and we want to try and fix that.
Okay, we're going to have to end it there. Thank you so much.
Okay, first off, I'd just like to make one little comment directed at Face the Nation. The dude just said he might consider, we gotta see about getting under control, which means cutting, disability. We're gonna have to stop you there. Motherfucker, what? That's the story. That is the fucking story. And he's like, we gotta end it now. No, nothing to see here. But anyway, since he doesn't want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. Now, see, here's the thing with Mulvaney here. First off, this is the second time that he's done something like this. Now, if you look back on the clip, the question was about entitlements in general. But for some reason, he specifically zoomed in on Social Security disability insurance. I find that troubling, because he did that in the last press conference, you know, where this picture came from, where he's wearing this, I don't know what the hell that is. Is that, seriously, if that is a tie that has like the Declaration of Independence written on it, I'm going to choke him with the damn thing. Disclaimer, not actually, asterisk. It's satire. Probably. But anyway. he did it in that press conference where that picture is from. They asked him about, what was it? He was block grant. Oh yeah, they asked him about cutting after school programs, and then he goes into feeding kids program, which by the way they're also cutting, but I guess for the Republicans it involves feeding brown kids in other countries, so they don't care, or they felt that was a little safer of a subject. But anyway, and this is the second time, because they asked him about entitlements in general, and for some reason he zooms in particular on the SSID. So let's go over that for a second. Now, the Social Security disability insurance program is the idea of cutting these first off, the idea of cutting these programs to me is bullshit in general. For instance, Social Security and Medicare. You pay for those. For instance, Social Security disability insurance. The reason it's called disability insurance is you pay into it with your taxes. Like when you get your pay stub, you got Medicare SSI tax on there. So I have a real problem with whenever I hear a politician saying, "Oh, well, we can't afford these entitlement programs. We need to rein in these benefits and everything." For one thing, in addition to standard income tax, everyone is paying into that as required by law. Paying into that system. All right, nothing in, those programs are entitlements, or called entitlements because of the true definition of the word. You are in fact entitled to them because you fucking worked for it. All right, because every single paycheck you received as an official employee throughout your entire working life has had a piece of it go into that system so that you can get those benefits when you retire and when you're old or when you become disabled. And on top of that, I'm guessing maybe if they're going to be specifically targeting Social Security disability insurance, maybe because, I don't know, maybe because like he said, it's not something you think about when you think of Social Security benefits. Although I don't think the voters are going to be quite so quick to make that distinction. Because that seems to be a thing too. Oh, well, we meant like Social Security, when you get when you're elderly and you retire, you get the thing. It's they're trying to split hairs. Now, see, we didn't say we weren't going to cut these other things that you don't really think about. We just said we weren't going to cut this one. Swear to God. Anyway, 8 minutes in, I need to get to the fucking point. See, here's the deal. One, me personally, I am wholeheartedly against any cuts or restrictions to Medicare and Social Security because, like I said, in addition to our regular taxes that we pay to the government, every single check you get, money comes out for those programs. You pay into those programs just like a 401k, just like any other private retirement. You have an absolute right to those funds that you get when you get to be that age. And to say, okay, well now we're gonna make you wait until you're older to get them, or we're gonna cut down the amount you get, which is already laughably small, is infuriating. Secondly, Social Security disability insurance. That is, of course, as the name implies, basically you can get income assistance, essentially, if you are disabled. Now, where did I put the link for this? And now, the guy does have a point in that area of Social Security benefits has actually grown significantly. In fact, there's an article in CNN Money. This is actually from 2013, but it applies. And let me read you a few bits of it to sort of explain why it's jumped. All right, now since 2003, there's been a 29% jump in Americans with little or no work experience getting disability payments, according to the Social Security Administration. Now, over the same time, there's been a 44% increase in disability claims by people formerly in the workplace. Disability claims among veterans are up 28% since 2008. This was from 2008 to 2013, it rose by 28%, according to the Department of Veterans Affairs. All told, the federal government spent nearly $250 billion in 2011 to pay more than 23 million Americans some type of disability claim. That's about 7% of the overall population and 16% of the workforce. Now, those numbers also don't include worker compensation claims, which are mostly paid for by private companies, and some other areas. Now, the reason for that, in some cases, that the article mentions is, for one, the recession. This is 2030. People get on it because times are tough. They can't find work. It's harder to find work if you're not perfect, I guess. I don't know. But that's a usual thing. You see a spike when you have recessions. Like during the recession in 2001, disability claims from those who used to have a steady job shot up 13%. 2009, claims jumped 21%. So it happens. That's not nothing major there. But also, too, our population's getting older. Also, welfare reform, too. Like, there's actually a thing. Here's another part of the article about that. Efforts in the 1990s to reform the nation's welfare laws have had the perverse effect of pushing more people onto the Social Security program for people with little work history. That has continued. States and municipalities actually set up screening centers to test welfare recipients for disabilities, said John O'Neill, Director of Employment and Disability Research at the Kessler Foundation, a nonprofit focused on disability issues. If any were found, state workers helped the people apply for federal disability benefits, which then shifted their costs to the federal government and off of the states. Also to medical, like for instance, let's see. Recently, the Social Security disability insurance started to cover or recognize PTSD in soldiers as a disability, and also, I think it was cancer. Also, to illnesses tied to the cancer-causing chemical Agent Orange used in Vietnam are also now viewed as a disability. So for one thing, keep this in mind. If they cut this program, they're going to potentially end up hurting a lot of our veterans too. So basically, what the program, of course, is anyone who is disabled. Like, you can't do anything else, and it's not an easy program to get onto either. All right. See, article for The Intercept says that basically, like it's not easy to get on disability. All right. They said that the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities noted that fewer than 400 of 1,000 initial applicants for applications for approval are accepted. So, like 60% of the people who apply get rejected already. So basically, it's like another effort from these people to say, oh, we have to cut these programs. We just can't afford these programs. Well, if you can't afford them, you want to cut them and get rid of them, then give me my damn money back, for one thing. Secondly, especially with disability, and like, okay, at least with the retirement, there are other options. Of course, you have to get in them early. Like 401ks, retirement programs through employment. But what about disability? Like, what if? And that's one of those things. It's like, it's a safety net program, because essentially, you could be driving a truck and get in a horrific car accident and be paralyzed, and you can't work. A lot of times when these people genuinely, they are disabled, they're injured, they have some kind of an ailment that will prevent them from being a working member of society for the rest of their lives. So they depend on this program. And, again, I do not support cutting any of these programs at all. But if you cut back the retirement payments, grandma could still go work at Walmart. As the GOP evidently wants. However, which is horrific, but still, it's a possibility. There's an option. It's a terrible option that no one should have to deal with, but it is an option. But if you take someone who physically cannot work and cannot function in society, and you take away what's keeping them, giving them the income they need to pay rent and to buy food, I don't know how dying in the streets sounds a little dramatic, but how else do you want to put it? They're going to get kicked out of their homes. They can't go to work, which is why they're on disability in the first place. And yeah, they're probably going to end up dying, or at very least wind up homeless. Hell, again, like I said, only 40% of the people that apply get approved. So if you're on Social Security, like disability, you're disabled and can't work. So there is no other option. And that's one of those things, like the fact that people like this can do that, can say things like that, and actually attempt to implement plans that will cut programs like that, it's like a level beyond infuriating. That they do it with this full-on, like, aw shucks kind of, we just can't, as much as we'd like to, we just can't afford it. We can afford bombs, we can afford tanks and aircraft carriers, but we just can't afford to keep, disabled people from being thrown out into the street. Richest country in the world, people. Richest country in the fucking world. Anyway. Like, comment, subscribe. Links will be in the description. See you next time.